All right, Grant Training Systems back with a really cool groin stretch that will actually really help alleviate your back pain. So we've got the dual camera system going on here again because I'm going to talk about some very subtle points that are extremely important in understanding why this groin stretch is actually going to probably be the secret stretch that takes your back pain away. It did for me and a lot of my clients, but these small little movements that we do within the stretch are extremely important. So, ba-bam, we got two cameras. So getting right into it, what you realize is I've got my hands on this door of my balcony basically, and the reason we're doing this on the balcony, and I call it the balcony stretch, is because you need something you can pull on to create a bit of torque, because we want to not only reach forward, but we really want to get the hips in a position that allows us to stretch our groin and release the pressure in our hips. So going into detail, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use this to create that torque I spoke about, and you're going to be able to see in this camera better that one, I'm not amazing at this stretch either, but what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to get my chest up, or the way I like to think about it is there's like a rope here from my head pulling me diagonally, and it's almost trying to lift me in the air, but I'm trying to keep my butt on the ground the entire time. So the way we would do that is we would anteriorly rotate our hips. So that's kind of like when we got that booty sticking out, that's the direction we want to go. And from here, what I'm able to do is just almost feel myself lifting off. So I'm trying to create some traction in between my hips and also my spine, if you will. And so again, imagine that string is pulling you kind of diagonally forward. You're using this balcony part here to really create that torque. And then that butt is basically just kind of lifting off, but not really off the ground. And then from here, my nickname for the next part is the piano stretch, or the piano movement, because what we can do is we can slowly, keeping that tension and keeping that traction in our hips, we can start to kind of pull ourselves to the right or to the left, as if you were like playing a piano, yeah? And you're going all the way down the keys. And from here, what is really cool is we can go at the pace that we want, slow, fast. We can find a spot where we really kind of feel it. We can kind of focus on this leg a little bit. We can focus on kind of turning the right foot out a bit, which you will notice really kind of activates that groin even more. And then what I like to do is I like to go all the way down until I'm able to put my first hand here, and again, create that torque, not only off the balcony, but now on my foot. And then continue to climb over until I'm ready, and then get my hand here. Now when my hand is here, I like to do a few different things. I like to just rest it on my leg at first until it opens up a little bit. And then I like to kind of reach towards my arm, because you're going to feel that more in the QL and the lat on the opposite side. But then, because if I was able to go all the way on this side of the foot, which I'm not, I would have my hand around my foot like this. So what I like to do is mimic that around my leg, because then my shoulder gets that rotation it needs, my hips are able to turn, and I'm able to pretend basically that I'm doing the entire stretch when I'm not, yeah? So this is a fantastic way to really reach forward. And then before we would go to the other side, we got one more little doozy here. What I'm gonna do is now take my left hand, because I'm going to the left side, and I'm gonna rotate myself all the way over, and then reach diagonally here and cross over my leg and really try to create that traction within the hips. This is just gonna kind of help stretch that opposite QL and just the overall hip complex, both on the left and right, but especially on the right side here. And a nice little stretch in the hamstring and groin there. And then what I like to do is relax out of that a little bit, wipe the sweat out of your eyes when it's a beautiful day like this, and start moving towards the other side. Now what will be interesting is to find out if you have a better or a worse side. And you can notice from the other camera here, I'm really always trying to focus on, again, having that string pulling my head diagonally and my butt always going out, and really just trying to focus on those tight spots in which I can feel the stretch really. And so again, I would crawl over. I would go from here, again to here, and then under like this. And then again, like I said, I don't know how great this is on the other camera view, but cross over and really reach on this side. And what will be interesting is when you compare the left and the right side, sometimes you're gonna have positive, you're gonna see a better range of motion, and other times you're gonna see worse range of motion. And a lot of times it will cross back and forth. If your pain is usually on the left side of your lower sacroiliac joint, what you're gonna realize is that the right could be the tight side. So we see a cross pattern in a lot of these pain areas here. And so again, we recognize this is just the normal adductor stretch, but we can see in this camera and possibly some here, I use this part of the balcony to really create that torque and allow myself to lift up and really just kind of accentuate that stretch. You will feel it here and here. And those are the bad boys that are connecting to your pelvis, which is basically, in my theory, kind of giving some too much tension in that sacroiliac joint, that part of your back that always seems to come out in the lower area and cause a lot of pain. And once we can give a little bit more give on this one, you're gonna notice that you're just able to feel much more free. This is fantastic for people also having issues with squatting and kind of throwing their back out then. So fantastic stretch. When you're done, something that's also quite cool is to go into the butterfly position here and then just shake up and down, kind of not too hard, a few times. And a lot of times you feel the lower back in the sacrum area or the sacroiliac joint, so a little bit higher, and you feel some cracks and pops just very lightly. So I don't go too hard, I don't go very many times, I just do it a few times, and it is a really nice way to release your back. And a little doozy on top here, since you have that balcony right there, what I like to do is get my feet as straight as I can. I don't want to crush my mic here. And in this case, work on my Achilles stretch with my feet not collapsing and just really feel that stretch in the posterior portion of my back of my legs, if you will. So it's the Achilles and the soleus here, and just kind of pull myself a little forward, let gravity do its job. I get my heels a little bit in the air, as you can see here, try to straighten my back, and I just let gravity slowly pull them down. This is a great way to end this stretch because we know a lot of the back issues are starting from the ground, so from our ankles up, and if we've got a tight Achilles, that's going to be causing a lot of problems. All right, so guys, if you liked the video, please share it with all of your friends. Definitely hit that subscribe and the bell button if you want to be notified for more videos of mine. If you have any questions about the technique I was talking about, comment below. And if you have not been to the website yet, gtsgermany.com, go there, download the free lifestyle program, and check me out on Instagram where you can also get the free lifestyle program. And guys, until next week, man, hope the stretch made sense and you feel amazing when you stand up, and peace.